Let me ask you a question. What's your name? After everything you just brought up, what's your name? What's your name? What is it? I want to see if you understand.
So you want me to think like what I like think or like what I'm supposed to like think for context?
What you got? What's your name?
Say African.
African. Alright. Deuteronomy chapter 10. We're gonna
break it out!
In the scriptures who you are. Alright, can I change
break it out!
I'm an Israelite.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm an American black, so I must be from the tribe of Judah, which is the tribe of Israel.
Okay. Give me verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Break it out!
But it shall come to pass.
So this is Moses in the wilderness with the Israelites, correct? I know you understand this, right? Read it again.
Deuteronomy 28, 15. But it shall come to pass.
So Moses said, it shall come to pass, meaning future tense. It's a future prophecy coming right here. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord.
He says, if you don't listen unto the Lord, because why? Moses was giving commandments in Mount Sinai. He got all the commandments from the Lord, right? And he gave it to only the Israelites.
Right.
Understand? Read.
Voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes.
And his statutes, his sub-laws, come on.
Which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses said, if you break these laws, statutes, and commandments, curses are going to come upon you and overtake you.
Right.
Now, my question is, what are some of God's laws that we broke to get these curses upon us?
Bring it out!
Are you on me to answer? I mean, I've been through this, so it's not fair if I...
Damn, now.
No, give me some commandments. There's plenty of commandments. You ain't touched none of them. All of them.
Lustfulness, greed, disobeying parents, that type of
Proverbs
thing.
7.
Bring it out! Bring it out!
Proverbs chapter 7, verse 2. Listen, I got you 2 minutes. This is gonna go into the laws of the woman, because you've been here for a minute.
Yeah, and I have a question about the laws of the woman. Where are women?
Where are women?
Yeah. I mean, where are the women? Like,
You
I would
talking
like
about
to...
out here with us?
Yes.
They're at home. The men go to war.
That's right.
We're warring for our people's soul. That's what we try to do.
So what are the women doing?
Are you asking me what's your role in this too?
Yes.
That's okay, we're gonna get to that. Watch this.
Proverbs chapter 7, verse 10.
Bring it out!
And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
So this is King Solomon. He said, what? Read it again.
And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot.
So Solomon said, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot. Meaning what? He judged the sister by what? Her dress. So now, what are some of God's dress code laws? That's what I want to get to.
That was Proverbs, what?
7 and 10. He said there met him an attire of a harlot. He met a woman with the attire of a harlot. What's a harlot? A hoe. Or a whore. That's what the Bible calls a whore. What are some attires of a whore?
Scantily clad.
Explain.
She is not covered, skin showing. She got like all her assets on full display.
Bring it out!
Sirach chapter 19. Sirach 19:20. So, Solomon said there met him an attire of a harlot, meaning what? He saw his sister and she was dressed like a what? A whore. So watch this.
Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha chapter 19, verse 29.
Bring it out!
A man may be known by his look.
So the Bible says a man may be known by his looks. Read on.
And one that hath understanding by his countenance. When thou meetest him, a man's attire and excessive laughter.
A man's attire, the way he dressed, and his excessive laughter, meaning the things that come out of his mouth.
And gulp and gait show what he is.
Shows what he is.
That's right.
Shows what he is. So he says attire can tell. You can tell what a person is by the way they dress. You can tell a whore how she dressed. You can tell, right? If you seen a police officer, right? What you think he'll have on? A uniform.
Yeah, that's
with
right.
What? A badge. So you can tell that that's what? An officer. Or you can tell that that's a fireman because why? He have on a uniform with a badge, right? So you can tell what somebody is by the way they dress.
That's right.
Now give 1 Timothy.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9.
So now we're going into the laws of the woman, because what? There's way you can tell what somebody is or who somebody is by the way you dress.
Bring it out.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves.
So God says, in like manner also, women must adorn themselves, meaning beautify themselves or put on, read it again.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
In what?
Modest apparel.
Modest apparel. What's modest apparel?
Clothes, like, not as flashy.
Flashy, what else?
Covered, I mean. Just,
Covered.
Yeah.
Covered. Modesty means to be covered.
That's right.
Wearing, there you go. Wearing things that won't cause sexual attention.
That's right.
So the things that you got on right now, the clothing that you wear, let me ask you a question. Is that modest?
Compared to something, yes it is.
In 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9.
Bring it out.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array.
So God says to wear modest apparel. What you got on right now is not modest. A modest dress would be a dress that goes down to the ankle.
That's right.
Or at least past your knees.
Right.
Showing too much. That's what I'm saying. The things that what we brought out in Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. We broke God's commandments. That is one of God's commandments, that our sisters must wear things that's not revealing that sexual appeal. Because what? The things that your body is special. It's supposed to be for who? Your husband.
Right.
Your husband. Your husband. That's what it's for. Now, let's get Leviticus chapter 21.
Bring it out.
Leviticus chapter 21. Actually, you wear pants on the regular? Deuteronomy 20.
Bring it out.
This is another law for the woman. So you can't wear tight dresses. You can't wear what? Let's see what else you can.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear.
The Bible says the woman shall not. Meaning what? That's a commandment. Correct? Shall not. Must not. Read.
Wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
That's right.
That's a commandment, right? But would you wear a dress? Hell, why not? It's gay, right? You wouldn't wear it because why? That's called cross-dressing. Yeah. So if a woman wears pants, what's that called? Cross-dressing as well.
That's right.
Read it again.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. Let's read the scripture first.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5.
Bring it out.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Now, the things that you wear, like pants, do that or do it not belong to men?
I mean, if it's for work, that's what I have to wear.
That's not
for
what I
work.
asked you. Is that a man's attire or is it a woman's attire?
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna.
Excellent.
Bring it out.
You said what?
That's not a man's attire. Jeans are not a man's attire.
Okay, what's women's attire? What's
Skirts, dresses.
skirts, dresses? Would this man look right if he wore a dress? No. So, what is he to wear? Pants. So that is his attire.
Get out.
The things that you must wear is something opposite to tell the difference.
That's right.
If you're walking down the street, right, and you got on pants, I can't tell the difference if you a man or a woman.
Right.
The way I'm gonna tell, how would I tell if you're a woman?
You would have to look at something. You have
Some what?
her behind, I'm
Her
guessing.
behind, her shape.
Yes.
God says dress modestly.
That's right.
So either way it go, it's not for the woman. Read it again. Or Exodus, read it.
Exodus chapter 28, verse 41. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron, thy brother.
Aaron and thy brother. Read on.
And his sons.
And his what?
Sons.
His what?
Sons.
His sons.
With him. And shall anoint them with.
Jump down first.
Verse 42. And thou shalt make them linen breeches.
And shall make them what?
Linen breeches.
What is breeches? Down south, what we call it?
Breeches.
Breeches.
That's
The Bible
right.
says breeches. And they shall be upon who? Aaron and his son.
That's right.
So breeches or pants were created for the men.
That's right.
So you're in sin if you're wearing pants.
Bring it out.
This the thing though. A lot of our sisters think about what? their grandmothers, or they think about old times, how women was in subjection to their husband when they think of pants. But God says, wear a dress.
Right.
Wear a dress. Don't think about the submission part. Don't think about you do it because why? You love the Lord.
I do.
How do you love God?
Bring it out.
Praise him, I worship him, I spend time with him daily.
Now let me ask you a question. How does God say to love him? Because God always got his prerequisites. He's going to tell you law, statutes, and commandments to keep. He's going to tell you how to live your life. He's going to tell you how to do it. So how does God tell you how to love him?
Obey his commandments.
Let's prove it. Let's prove it.
Bring it out.
John chapter 5, verse 3. 1 John chapter 3, verse 5. I'm sorry. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3.
Bring it out.
For this is the love of God.
So this is God's definition of love. This is how you show that you love God. You love God? You love God. That's what you say, right, Reed?
That we keep his commandments.
That we what?
Keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous.
God says his commandments not hard to keep. The thing is, we want to go off our own mind. We want to do what we want to do.
Right. That's right.
We want to do what we want to do. We want to make our own way to love God. God says, if you love me, keep my commandments.
Right.
Your parents says, if you love me, do what I say.
Right.
That's what God's saying right now.
That's right.
Okay, I just have a question. So, I'm guessing y'all are traditional men, as in, because y'all said...
We're men that keep God's commandments.
That's
Okay,
right.
I'm asking because the pants thing, my whole thing about the pants is I wear them for work. So y'all don't allow your women to work
I asked you a question. I said, do you wear pants on the regular? You told me yes.
For what? Because I work more than I do anything else.
Okay, now finish on with yours.
So yeah, so do y'all allow y'all women to work in places that will require them to wear pants, or would that just be, no, you can't get that job, or what's the solution to that?
Give me Nehemiah chapter 2. Nehemiah chapter 2. Because what? In the work situation, right? You can ask your boss for different requests. Like us, we don't work on a Saturday. Why? Because that's God's commandments.
That's
we
right.
gonna do everything in our might to get the Sabbath off.
Right.
So if we have to ask our boss if we can get off the Sabbath, that's what we're gonna do. It's a form called religious accommodations, right?
Yeah.
Where you can ask for different requests because of what? Your religious beliefs.
That's right.
So watch
right.
this. So this is Nehemiah. He's in the Persian captivity, right? He's a cupbearer for the king. Read that, verse 1.
Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass in the month Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes, the king, that wine was before him. And I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence.
He was never sad in the king's presence, right? Because he put on an act, right? Read on.
Wherefore the king said unto me, why is thy countenance sad?
So the king says, why are you sad? Remember, he just said he never was sad in front of the king, but this time he couldn't help it because what? He had to go help build the wall. Read.
Why is thy countenance sad? Seeing thou art not sick. This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid. And he said unto the king, let the king live forever. Why should not
he said, let the king live forever, giving him little sweet words to make him get his request. Read.
Why should not my countenance be sad when the city, the place of my father's sepulchres, lieth waste?
They lieth waste, meaning they were destroyed. Read on.
And the gates thereof are consumed with fire. Then the king said unto me, for what doest thou make requests?
So what do you make requests? The king asked Nehemiah, he said, what do you have requests? What can I do for you? Read on.
So I prayed to the God of heaven, and I said unto the king.
So he sent up prayers to the Lord. Read on.
If it please the king.
If it please the king, so what is he doing now? He's asking the king. Read on.
That's right.
And if thy servant have found favor in thy sight,
if your servant have found favor in thy sight, if I please you, king, read on.
That thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it, And the king said unto me, the queen also sitteth by him. For how long shall thy journey be? And when wilt thou return? So it pleased the king to send me, and I set him a time.
So because Nehemiah asked, guess what? He received.
That's right. Yeah.
So if your job won't allow you, if you have to wear pants for work, guess what? Ask your boss. Hey, I really want to keep my God's commandments in this Bible. Guess what? Can I do it? It's not hard to ask.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? All right. Leviticus chapter 21.
Bring it out.
Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 5. Verse 5.
So now we're going to go into the commandments that we broke, right? And remember, in Deuteronomy 28, verse 15, it says that if we break God's commandments, we were going to go into captivity. That was the curses, that we went into captivity. So this is one of the commandments that we break to this day that keep us at the bottom. It may be something small, like the dress code. It's something small. But these are the things that we must begin to do to have the Lord back on our side.
Right.
Read on.
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 5.
Bring it out.
They shall not make baldness upon their heads.
So God says, don't make baldness. How do you make baldness? When you make something, that means you created. You did it yourself. Like you just said, you shaved. You shaved. Read. So don't take no razor and put it on your head and make you bald. Or ask your barber to cut you bald, right? Read.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
Neither shall they do what?
Shave off the corner of their beard.
So God says, don't shave your beard. You cut your beard? you just don't grow it. Okay, cool. So that's what we're doing. We bringing out God's laws, all right?
Okay, I have a quick question. So does it not say in Samson to not cut your hair at all? Like, isn't that I think it's Samson, where he tells...
He was an Israelite.
Yeah. That's something totally different.
Okay,
Samson
but why does that not apply though?
You asking about what you're referring to is about the laws that concerns the Nazarites. Since the priesthood goes to Christ, there's no need for the Nazarites. The same thing, there's no need for the Levitical priests. There's no need for the Nazarites.
Right.
Okay. So a man, like the scriptures say, a man can't purposely cut his head bald. But there's our men that go bald. There's nothing wrong with that. But when a man pick up a Gillette razor or clippers, whatever, and they make themselves bald, God says that's a sin. Okay?
So your hair would not be considered bald.
I'm almost there, but no, I'm not considered bald. Get that, Leviticus 13, and I think it's around like 40.
41, 40.
Leviticus 13 and verse 40.
40. And the man whose hair is falling out of his head.
A man that's going bald, his hair's falling out.
He is bald, yet he is clean.
See that? He's clean. There's nothing that he's doing that's making his hair go out. He's not bald in his head. It's just falling out.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to understand. Is balding your head completely bald?
Yeah,
or
completely bald, yeah.
So why not just continue growing out your hair?
I can cut it low. But I just can't make it bald, like shiny bald, like Michael Jordan, Tyrese. You understand?
Yeah.
You can't make it completely bald. There's got to be some type of hair there, okay? And also when you read in Ephesians, it says, abstain from the appearance of evil. Right. So I can't make it extremely bald to the point where people can't tell I have hair or not on my head. You understand?
All right. So now that you understand who you are, right? What's your nationality? Israelite. Y'all believe that, right?
I believe it. I just want to know more. Like, y'all just raising more questions than answering them.
All praises. That's the thing. We never asked our master no question. We never asked who is white man Jesus. We never asked who we truly are before we got over to this land in captivity. We never asked questions, but that's all praises to the Most High. You came and got your answer. Give me 1 Kings chapter 8.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
So, knowing that you're an Israelite now, what must you do? You got an idea?
Yes.
What?
dress more modestly.
All praises.
I'm gonna try to cut out pork. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better about not eating pork or seafood. Yeah. But also, okay, so you just said the whole like the slaves not asking about their white Jesus. So where did the Bible come from then? If it wasn't from white people, how would we have known about the Bible?
Understand this. This is our history.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, how did you, because there was no whole religion before slavery, there wasn't. So how did we come to know, like, what were we serving before?
What were we serving before? The Bible. This is what we always had. The white man got his hands on it and then used it against us in slavery.
That's right.
But how could he use it against us if it was our own history that we already knew about? It's just words, the languages in it we didn't understand. So how could he use that against us if it was already our history?
Not understanding your question.
Okay, so like the Bible, I'm saying if the Bible is what the white man used to teach us about Jesus, about Christ, how could he have used that against us if that was already our history?
Because remember, in slavery we couldn't read or write for 200 plus years.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. So, but it's our history. Either way, we're gonna know about it, whether or not we could read it or not. There was gonna be oral storytelling, like how y'all telling me all these answers now. They would know it passed down. So how could he use it against them if it was already being told throughout generations?
Jeremiah 17:4.
Trying to grasp your question.
Jeremiah 17:4.
So how would we not know that the Bible is ours?
I got you. All right. Like the brother stated, right? We weren't able to read and write. Give me Romans 10. We weren't able to read and write for up to 200 years.
Right.
So they taught us Christianity, not the Bible.
That's right.
Okay? But there's something that they know about you that you don't know about yourself. Like you said, we were gonna be taught what? Verbally, orally, passed down. But guess what was passed down? Christianity. Not
That's
the truth
right.
of this
That's
Bible.
But okay, that's my point though. Either way, the Bible is our history. That's what you're saying, right? The Bible is our history.
Yes.
So regardless of whether it was written down in a book form or whatever white people got their hands on, it was still our history to be told. So we would know about it regardless of whatever was written down that we could not read. We would know about it either way because it was passed down. Because it's history.
Yeah.
That's our family history. So we're gonna know about it. That's what I'm saying. How could they make it negative and use it against us if we already knew about it, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I understand your question. What they did was the elders of our people that knew our nationality, knew who God was to us, guess what? They killed them. For example, y'all seen what's that movie with Toby?
Roots.
Roots. You seen Roots, right? You never seen Roots? Roots. Remember when Kunta Kinte was getting whooped? Why was he getting whooped?
For speaking his language.
And also, his master gave him a name.
He didn't want to be called by his white name.
But eventually, what did he do?
Lied, like he did it.
That's the same thing with us.
That's
They
right.
broke that out of us. Our people that knew, they broke that out of them. Our language, our true name, our heritage. They beat that out of us. They whooped that out of us. Guess what now? And when the people seen that, when they seen he finally caved in, you seen what they all did? They all turned their back and they left. Guess what they started doing then? Guess what we started doing when we started seeing our people being broken down? We started teaching what they wanted us to teach. We started teaching that to our children.
Right.
You ever read the Willie Lynch letter? You should look that up. That also explains the brainwashing they did to us to ensure that the programming they instilled in us worked.
Right.
The
So,
will of what?
the Willie Lynch letter, okay? It's like $8, but it's very critical that you should read that on YouTube. So you understand it, right? That's how we would taught Christianity instead of our true nationality. Okay?
Right.
You seen the Nat Turner movie? You seen?
No.
You seen the Nat Turner movie? When you watch the Nat Turner movie, Nat Turner, he was a preacher, right? He was going from plantation, teaching Christianity. But one day he said he started reading the scriptures with new eyes. That's what sparked the slave rebellion. Okay? So read Romans 10. Still read that, verse 1.
Romans chapter 10, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God.
That's the thing. We have a zeal of God. We have a zeal to worship of God. Nobody do this better than us in the Sunday church. Nobody catch the Holy Ghost better than us. We have a, stay with me. We have a zeal for God, and they know that. Guess what they did? They gave you that God.
That's
they know
right.
It's in our spirit to search out our God. That's how God built us. Since they know that, they provided that God for you. Now you're not going searching. Now there's no more slave rebellion. The slaves are not running away. They got their religion. They got their Jesus now. They good now. That's why when you read in Deuteronomy 28, at one point of time we had yokes of iron on our necks. We was chained down. But guess what? We were broken.
Right.
Not just physically, but mentally.
Right.
They didn't need a chain. They didn't need chains no more. They didn't need the yoke of irons no more. Look at us now. We're not going nowhere.
Right.
Nobody's talking about let's gather to what Marcus Garvey did. Nobody's talking about let's gather together, let's leave this country and let's go create our own. Nobody's doing that.
Right.
We're content now. We're assimilated now. We come to their schools now. All we doing is learning how to be a high-paid slave.
I definitely don't agree with that. For one, because Marcus Garvey's tactics were not gonna get us to where we needed to be.
You know why? Because it was not rooted in this.
That's right.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.